Hello again, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode of Banish the Doubt. Today, I want to talk about our self concept. You see, everything operates off of this concept of ourself, how we see ourselves. I want to start this video off with this quote I heard from Louise Hay about a year ago. And it simply goes, my biggest fear about money is. I want you to think about that. And as we're going through this video, now it's not just about money, but I would I would say money is pretty important in our life. You see, because the amount of money we generate in our life really works off of this concept we have of ourselves. So one works off of the other. But I want to talk about developing core confidence. Core confidence is expressed by a Thomas Edison when people came to him and said, "Tom, you're trying to develop this light bulb. You've failed 10,000 times." Thomas Edison had core confidence because his response was, I haven't failed 10,000 times, just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Now, think about if Thomas Edison didn't have this core confidence, if he had a poor concept of himself. Well, I wouldn't be talking to you through this medium of YouTube. That I wouldn't have lights on in the house here, or at least maybe we would. Somebody else would have developed it, or. But this is what I'm talking about. The same with the Wright brothers with the airplane. When they put the first airplane in the sky, it lasted 14 seconds, and society laughed and said, it only lasted 14 seconds. The Wright brothers' core confidence said, no, we had it last for 14. If it lasted for 14 seconds, then we can work with this. We can build off of this. See the difference? That they had a poor self-concept, right? We might still be on horseback today. If you think about Henry Ford and what happened historically, we speak about this. So the large majority of society goes through life with a poor self-concept. In my videos, the whole passion I have for creating these videos is to help people to understand and to turn around this confidence or the self concept and confidence too, but the self concept. So everything depends upon concept of yourself. That which you do not claim as true of yourself cannot be realized by you. That comes from Neville Goddard in the book Power of Awareness. And I want to touch on that today in this video, our awareness. See, when we're born, we come into this world, and these dashes represent our conscious mind that is not developed. The Jesuit faith has been teaching their followers for 500 years, 500 plus years now. Give me a child from age 0, from birth to age 7, and I will give you the man or the woman. Because they knew that everything in here is our subconscious mind. And everything that's put into the subconscious mind, like this operating system in this computer, is downloaded, if you will, while we're infants. In fact, science has now found that third trimester is when our brains turn on. And we can think about this we know this by we think about any events that took place in our life. We can't comprehend or remember anything that was 6 months old or a year old. Everything's always, well, I was about 3, I was about 4, maybe 5, not even 3 or 4, really 5, 6, 7 is when our conscious mind starts to develop. But we already have everything programmed into our subconscious mind. So as we get older, we have ideas that get into our subconscious mind and they form, this is the body here, who we are. And who we are is a collection of these beliefs that have been established and put there by the people, by our parents, by society, by media, school. You could just go on and on. If teachers, all that, religion, right? Obviously, a big one, religion. So here we are as an adult, and we have these ideas that go into our mind and they come out, and we operate off of this. Is our operating system here, okay? As an adult. But then, or maybe even a young adult, we get an idea comes into our mind. Maybe tonight, an idea, making videos, whatever it may be, starting your own business, whatever it may be, buying a house, moving to a new neighborhood, whatever this why idea comes into our mind and it stays here. It's now this is our conscious mind, okay, the brain. It goes here. But if it tries to go here, it gets mixed up with the programming. And what Bob Proctor talked about, this here, the terror barrier. If you've never watched the video, Bob Proctor, on the terror barrier, I suggest you watch it and maybe watch it hundreds, plural, hundreds and hundreds of times because it is this important. You see, we get this idea, we try to act on the idea, and we hit this barrier in life called terror barrier, he refers to it as. But this comes back to the confidence, our self-image, how we see ourselves. If we don't see ourselves as, and on this side is freedom. On this side we know is freedom. But we get stuck here. And watching these videos, learning this stuff, really disciplining yourself to do this, to get through this terror barrier to the other side. Our history is littered with people who have gone through the terror barrier and got to the other side. Obviously, Bill Gates was one of them, founders of YouTube, and pretty much any part of society, you can find people who had this self-concept, or maybe not this exact type, but had a concept of himself, but went through this anyway. They pushed through. And it's not a what we learn in society as you got to grind and you've got to work 22 out of 24 hours a day and never see your family. Whatever. Lots of people have gotten to the side, okay, CEOs, titans of business, but only to find that their lives are in shambles. A lot of them have had multiple marriages, drug abuse, pornography abuse, because they just pushed. It's not that way, okay? And I'm gonna explain that here to you in a couple of minutes in this video. So it's not about getting an idea and just saying, okay, I'm gonna bull rush this terror barrier. I'm gonna get through the other side, and I'm hell bent to do it. It's not that. So I'll explain here how we do it. A couple of quotes that I want to highlight. People settle for a level of despair they can tolerate, and they call this happiness. Personally, for myself, I think about, well, we were broke, but at least we're happy growing up. I've heard that many, many times growing up. Yeah, we were poor, but we were happy. It's settling for a level of despair that generation and generations before me tolerated. Doesn't have to be that way, okay? You have power over your mind, not outside events. So I want to really kind of talk about this today. Realize this and you will find strength. That's Marcus Aurelius said that. Now, Marcus Aurelius, this wasn't just like 20 or 40 or 50 or 100 years ago. Many, many years ago, this statement. heart of what I want to talk about here is that this kind of stuff is really, it's in society, but it's really not in society. It's been in society, but not really in society. It's been kind of shunned. Talking about spirit, talking about higher self, higher mind, and things of that nature. But this is how I want to transition into the next part of this video, really understanding or starting to get a concept of our higher mind, a concept of our higher self, spirit. And once again, I will say the statement, my biggest fear about, now I'm going to say money, but think of anything. Think of my biggest fear about relationships, my biggest fear about going for the promotion, my biggest fear about being a homeowner, whatever it may be. My biggest fear about, and you put in whatever you want, is blank. Take from this video. Okay, this is your first time watching this video. You so far you like what you hear. Hit the subscribe button if it's your first time, and hit the notification bell. We'd love to have you here as a subscriber to my channel. If any of this is resonating with you and you find yourself maybe been doing this for a while and you think you may want a little bit of one-on-one help, go to my channel and click on the link. I'd be happy to help coach you. But think about this, okay? Because what we're espousing here, what we're talking about here on this video, it really is helpful in these areas. It has helped me tremendously in a lot of different areas. So now we've been taught, okay, to believe that our physical mind is in charge. It's supposed to control everything. Now, how many of us, or have you heard about people who are control freaks you've learned about growing up, okay? To figure out how everything is supposed to happen in order for everything to work. This is not our job. This is paradoxical. I know this may take a minute or two for you to understand this. Our physical mind is not designed to figure out how things happen. It is only designed to perceive how things happened, past tense. Because everything in your reality, in my reality, is based off of events that happened. Reality is nothing more. Your reality, my reality, is nothing more than a reflection of past thinking happened. The people in your life, okay, the people in your life are there from the previous page that I had up, that operating system, okay, the programmed beliefs. Think about that. Think about the people who are in your life. Okay, think about kind of, if you want to do some math tonight, watching this video, or after watching it, think about how much money the people in your inner circle, the people you're most most closely associated with, how much money do they make? Just in your mind, go around that and divide it by the number of people you're thinking about, and that's the average income you're going to have. Because our physical mind, okay, our physical mind is perceiving, okay, it perceives everything. It doesn't make anything. There's no ideas with our physical mind. I know, again, it may seem somewhat paradoxical, okay? It is only designed to perceive how things happened. It is not designed to perceive how things will happen. Our physical mind is not designed to see how things will happen, but this is how we've been led to believe. We got to focus. We got to think about how things are going to be. No, it's not that. That there came from Bashar, if any of you watched Bashar. The higher self, okay? Now, this is the higher mind. The higher self, or the higher mind, is really you. It's me. It is a part of who we are. It is that voice that talks to us when we're quiet, when we're alone. Okay, it can see. I'll tell you, the level just above physical reality, also part of our personal being. Okay, that's who the higher mind is, the higher being, the higher voice. the level of our being that has the ability to understand how things happen. That's the higher mind. This is intuition. This is imagination. Okay. This is you thinking about a present when you're a little boy or a girl in Christmas. Oh, you can imagine the type of present you're going to get. Santa Claus. You're imagining Santa Claus is going to bring us presents. This is the imagination. You're going to imagine the kind of presents you get on your birthday. All these things, okay? The higher mind is the airplane in the sky. It is the light bulb as above my head here. That's the higher mind perceiving that, okay? Physical mind only sees how they did occur, okay? Not how it will occur, not how it will occur. Knowledge of how it will occur is the higher self. Knowledge of how it's going to occur is the higher mind. This is where everything comes from. This is why I'm saying, go back to a few minutes ago with the titans of industry or whatever, forcing the physical mind. It's how we're led to believe, to push, to force, to grind, right? How we think about today, grind. We gotta be a dog. We gotta all these different words we use. A lot of energy there, lots of energy. Just thinking about that. This is why a lot of people shy away from that. People shy away from, well, you can start a business, Bob, but be prepared to work 22, 23 hours a day, burn that midnight oil, to burn that candle at both ends, and, John, he made it. I know he's on his third marriage, but he made it. You see what I'm saying? So obviously people shun that. I'm not doing that, but it's not that. It's the perception. And I want to keep working with this here, explain to you how the different path, okay? So again, so the higher mind conceives, okay, our physical brain, okay, receives, physical personality mind perceives. It does not conceive of anything, not capable of generating even one idea. So like this, I know I'm belaboring the point, it seems like, but I want you guys to understand this is how everything everything in life has happened and will continue to happen. This is where Amazon comes from, Tesla, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, the computer. This is where these things come from. So if you're watching this and you have an idea or you've had an idea in your mind, feel that, play with that, work with that, okay? Because that's the higher mind talking to you. Your higher mind is like, it would be like if this is a mountaintop, okay? And this is your higher mind. Your higher mind can see the path ahead, right? Because it's on the mountaintop. Higher mind. It's got a broader view, okay? And here you are at the valley. Okay, so you're going this way. This is your path. The higher mind can tell you, you're thinking, hey, I can see up ahead. You may want to take a left. The left could be course correct, obviously, a new job, start your own business, go become that singer, go, whatever it may be. This, because your higher mind can see, it's got a bigger, broader perspective. It's like the captain of the ship. You're just looking down, you and we're just looking here at the path, okay? We're perceiving the path ahead of us. but we want to work with the higher mind that can see further down the road. This is what I'm talking about, working with the higher mind. And when we learn to, actually, let me put this word. This is going to be a big one, okay? We learn to link with this. Okay, we learn to, the word here, trust. Trust in the higher mind. Trust in that you develop that concept of yourself, the core confidence. Trust in what you're thinking and what you're seeing, what you're feeling, because that's who you are on the inside. That's your higher mind talking. Now, it's going to tell you, right? Hey, on the road down there, you might want to leg a left, not a right. Why? Because it is you. It's who you are. It's a part of you. It's not going to lead you down the road and say, make a left. Whoops, I'm sorry, I meant right. Sorry, that's, now you got all kinds of problems. But it's when we don't trust in that higher mind and we feel like we have to push. This is why I'm linking back to the titans of industry, third, fourth, fifth marriages or whatever, the alcohol and drugs and the pornography or whatever, because they don't trust. Okay. The physical mind may perceive that they have everything. But of course, we're seeing this, this beautiful painted picture of them that only they allow you to see, right? And what happens when we get a peek behind the curtain of some of their personal lives, like I'm saying? So focus on you and yourself at all times. Trust in that higher mind because you're going to bring it back, okay? Now I'm going to bring it back here a few pages. Here, here is where we want to go back to. Now we don't want to go back, but we want to understand it's this here. The conditioned mind from when we were infants and little children. We understand this is the formation of the terror barrier. Okay. The why idea here could be the higher mind talking to us. It is actually, it is the higher mind talking to us. So really, one may say, trust in yourself is what is needed to break through the terror barrier to get to freedom. It's understanding the higher mind. It's understanding and trusting in that voice, trusting in who you truly are at your core. That's why we call it core confidence, right? It's why it's called core, who you are, core, your higher mind. Okay. Yes, I know I'm pointing here in your higher mind, but it's who you are. So it's trusting in that. So just know again, all ideas we have ever had, physical mind perceives the result of the idea that was received by the brain from the conception of the higher self. Every idea that has ever happened in our history, you, me, any ideas we ever had, this is the formula. Okay, the physical mind perceives the idea, whether we do it or not, that results of the idea that was received from the brain, that was from the conception of the higher self. Once again, the higher mind conceives through the receiver, which is the brain. Okay, so it's conceived, goes through the receiver of the brain. It is translated by the brain into a vibration, feelings, right? That the physical mind perceives as a reflected reality. So once again, our reality is nothing more than a perception of a vibration that was translated by the brain, from the brain, came through the higher mind. Our reality is nothing more than how we have perceived our past. Everything we see in our reality is nothing more than a reflection of the reality that we have perceived in our life. This is why, again, I go back to my biggest fear about money is my biggest fear about fill in whatever it may be. Because if the fear is a perception, you're not good enough. Perception, you're not good looking enough. Perception, you're not blessed. You're not gifted. You see how we play these games we play the games in here when all along you are gifted. You are good looking enough. You are enough. You are deserving. You are worthy because it's your higher self. It's who you are. It's that core. It's the part that we are all part of this source, this energy, this source energy. We are all, you, me, we are all a piece of that. And that's perfect. There's nothing, universe, everything here in the universe is perfect. Look at the trees. Look at the squirrels, the animals, right? Trees don't, there's no trees in a couple of, I'm in New Jersey here, but a couple of weeks from now, I'd say, I know we're a red maple, but seriously, do I have to be red every year? Can I just be orange one year? Right? They don't have that type of thinking, obviously, but this is what we focus on. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at, your reality changes. So we'll begin to think and focus on who we are, that we are perfect, we are whole, we are deserving, we are worthy, we are enough. When we start to understand this and realize this book, the books like Power of Awareness, and this book here, Your Invisible Power. You want to start reading these books. You want to start getting around these types of videos. People like myself and others, Joe Rodriguez, Wayne Dyers, oh geez, my name's escaping me, but Joe Dispenza. Oh, I wasn't thinking about him. It'll come to me. Um, Be Something Wonderful. Gee, I can't think of the guy's name, but Be Something Wonderful. All these videos, these wonderful, beautiful people who are putting forth this content. This is going to heal the world one video at a time. Okay, one person saying, "Yeah, got this. I understand now. I'm going to understand that in every interaction that I have with another person, we're going to start to become aware of our feelings and our thoughts within those interactions, because it's those feelings and thoughts in the interaction is what is within that. When we analyze that, we find our self-concept. I go back to what I started here. How we feel when we talk to somebody, the emotions that come up, that's our self-concept in everything. Okay. So, for instance, I'm, making this video. This is not a struggle for me. This is just who I am. When I've started to really look into this and really started to understand this more, And when I meditate, when I was quiet, when my higher self was talking to me, one second, please, writing down, meditating, thinking about, and writing down your highest version of yourself. What is your highest version of yourself? Who is that person? Write that down. Record yourself saying that. Because when you're quiet and there's no judgment, that person that comes out, that is who is inside. That person inside coming out. And when you record, you listen to yourself. Listen to that recording over and you keep working with it. Edit it until you got it right where you want it. And then listen to that and re-listen and keep listening over and over. Affirmations. Okay, talking about money. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. That's right from Bob Proctor. I have a lavish, steady, dependable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. Neville Goddard. These types of affirmations, record yourself saying them. Listen to them over and over. It is very vitally important to listen to these, your recorded self and the affirmations, when you're drifting off to sleep. Why? Because your brain is in a theta state. Theta is when the conscious mind, the physical mind, opens up and it's just your subconscious mind. So it's kind of like that description I had earlier when we were little children. When we're drifting to sleep, that information is going directly into our subconscious mind, and we're starting to clean it out, if you will. Replace those core beliefs with new beliefs. And that's how we end up going through the terror barrier. Now, is the other side void of anything from that? No. But enough beliefs, new beliefs, have gotten into our mind and our subconscious that allow us to trust in that higher being, that higher self. This is how we get to those areas, those stages in our life where life becomes much, much, much easier, lighter, and much more comfortable. Still struggles, still challenges here and there, but they're challenges, okay? They're not setbacks. And if they are, they're one back and then two or three or four ahead, rather than two or three back and then one ahead. There is no, we're poor, or at least we're happy. No more of that, okay? So that's my message to you today. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, again, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you receive all my videos. And if any of this resonates with you enough to the point where you think maybe you need some one-on-one coaching, go to my channel, click on the link. I'll be happy to sit and talk with you about it. Thank you, guys.